Welcome back, I'm Tedward, and today at Boston Motorsports, I'm taking this 992 911 Turbo S for a cup of coffee. We're gonna go down to the Lars Anderson Auto Museum for Boston Cars and Coffee, and you gotta have 640 horsepower and a 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds to pull in style. This is shark blue. It looks absolutely outrageous. And the best thing about a 911 Turbo is that it's faster than a GT3. It's pretty much as capable in most scenarios as a GT3. So let's jump in and go for a drive. Get ourselves a nice morning cup of coffee. We've got our key fob paint matched, of course, and then here is our left starter. Gorgeous. Let's open up that sunroof. That's actually awesome. That's a pretty big sunroof for a 911, I gotta say. I've gotta say, I cheated a little bit. I actually do have a coffee with me already, and hopefully it's properly secured because this car is ridiculously fast. Oh, this thing is so friggin' fast. All-wheel drive is definitely necessary in the Turbo S. My goodness. Getting a little squirrely already, cold tires, but it puts it down because it claws its way out with those fronts. Oh my God. And then the best thing is we can go back into normal mode and just cruise over the bridge. All the expansion joints not giving me too much trouble. This is the ultimate like Jekyll and Hyde car because you really can drive it very normally, daily drive it. There's plenty of room. I've even got a whole case of water up front for the boys when I get there. And no one's the wiser that I've been able to rip off sub 3 second 0 to 60s on the way. Oh, the sweet, sweet sounds of the green line. Now we've got to go over probably my least favorite railroad tracks, the train tracks for the green line near Cleveland Circle. And this does not have a nose lift. However, it does have reasonable ground clearance, so we just got to take it a little easy, but it's not as scary as going over it in, say, a Lamborghini or a GT3. Nice and easy over the tracks. We're going to get passed by the bus, but that's fine because I would rather get passed by the bus than rip off the front bumper of this Turbo. The Turbo doesn't have quite the screech as the GT3. But it definitely has a character all its own, and it's always been like that. The Turbo's always had a more grunty, sort of visceral sound that's down low. It lets you know that there's some torque in there. Looks like we've got another Cars and Coffee goer here. Thank you. You going to Lars? This thing is just outrageous. Oh my goodness. It just closes gaps so insanely fast that you can't believe it. I mean, it just happens instantly. I cannot believe this is where we're at. I mean, the transmission obviously complements it well, but you know, people still want these things in manuals. I don't even know what you would do with this in a manual transmission. Look at these guys out early running. The only thing that wakes me up this early is Cars and Coffee. Looks like they're letting people in early. That's fantastic. This is my favorite place on earth. This thing's pretty fast. Yeah. It's very fast. It's like violent. I'm like, how do they sell? You sell this to people? You're a monster. You're a merchant of death. I'm fine with it. I'm coming, remember. of Cars and Coffee is just hanging out with the people, man. Like, I had such a good time today, and I don't spend too much time like filming when I'm there. I get some B-roll because but I really just want to experience it and be part of what's going on. But it's just incredible how quick this thing is. All right, now that we're done with Cars and Coffee, we've had a great time at Large Anderson Auto Museum. It's definitely my favorite Cars and Coffee out there because it's really just like kind of a no bullshit place, you know. It's a little bit stratified because, you know, the top of the heap, those big boy cars go up to the top of the hill, but, you know, for the most part, it's a really equitable place to go and hang out, whether you're bringing a Toyota Camry or you're bringing like a real heavy hitter supercar. And unlike a Cars and Coffee where you're going to, say, like a parking lot at a restaurant or something, this is at an auto museum, so you do get to go and check out some of the incredible cars that have been curated in the auto museum. All right, we are in Sport Plus right now. It is a little violent. This car is stiff, man. I gotta say, like, typically I think of the 911 Turbo as kind of like the old man car, not because it's slow or, you know, whatever. It's just that it's the top of the heap. It's the one that you don't have to work for the power in because it's got all this torque pretty much all the time. However, this is stiff, you know. I think people actually really got to think about this 992 as their daily driver in a way that they didn't necessarily have to think about in the past. Open the taps. Oh my goodness. You got to be cautious of your closing speeds. Like, I love going fast for sure. But I don't want to be like closing in on traffic at like double their speed, which is a thing that you can confidently do in the Turbo. But, you know, if someone moves over a smidge, you don't want to put anybody in danger, you know. You still need to be able to keep your shit together. Holy cow, this thing is unreal. Let's just think about this for a second. We're at 70 miles per hour right now. That is a monster. Proper monster. There is like a second where you wait for not a whole second, but there's a moment where you wait for those two turbos to spool up properly. But once they do, they just do not give up. They are relentless. It feels like it will just relentlessly pull to 200 miles an hour. And in normal mode, we're just cruising the highway. Not much for throttle inputs required to keep it at speed. Just enjoying myself. It's definitely firm. I think it has to do with these tires. We've got very little sidewall, but I do think this damper setup is fairly aggressive even in normal mode, which to some folks is going to be a bit of a bummer. They're going to want that 911 feel of like, oh yeah, we're still like cushy on some of this, you know, the turbo vibes, but this thing means business. And maybe that's the difference between a Turbo S and a regular turbo. Let's see how she gets off the line. We'll go foot on the brake, launch control. Jeez. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This passenger seat should be a toilet because whoever's sitting next to you is gonna shit themselves. This is fast, fast, fast. Oh my goodness. I am like blown away. Let's do another one of those. Oh my goodness, I'm in love. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's no joke, you guys. They're selling some serious weapons out of Stuttgart. Oh my God. That's something else. I mean, this is really just the kind of speed that you can't, I guess you can't use, but it's just always available. It's on tap. The car's so friggin' capable. Wow, 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 wow. I mean, if you really wanted to go like carve up one of these roads at the max, you're just going so ludicrously fast. I mean, you can't do it. You can't do it. Oh my goodness. I do wish there was one softer setting on the suspension, just because, while of course this is a 911, it's a hardcore car, the turbo's always been a little bit of a daily driver. This is the one that you're able to bring to work and use year round, use in the winter, and hopefully not get head on with a friggin' Uber Prius. It is a safe vehicle, but you know, it is designed for that, or it was designed for that. And now it's a bit stiff. Like, I do think there are going to be some customers that are like, yeah, that's not really the move anymore. But maybe the turbo, the non-S variant, is a little bit softer than this. And I don't remember. I've driven the turbo, the non-S, but I genuinely could not tell you right now if that was significantly softer. But this does feel a bit stiff to me, so maybe that's the answer. Maybe that car is softer. Any rattles and things are just like my sunglasses and keys in the door card, so no worries there. Off we go. Puts the power down. That'll get your blood pumping, guys. This thing's no joke. No joke at all. Well, before I get myself in trouble, I'm gonna go bring this back to Boston Motorsports. Thank you guys for coming along to Cars and Coffee with me, getting a cup of coffee in the 911 Turbo S. 640 brutal and truthful horsepower. Porsche horsepower is the real deal. Don't forget to respect the drive, and I'll see you in the next one.